Sakamoto Days, episode 2. We got to know what's so special about these meat buns. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, Geek. So we are talking about Sakamoto Days, episode 2. And this one, we're going to get straight into it. It's literally everything that happened last episode. It's kind of going to get flushed out a little bit more here. So Shin is gushing about how the combat went down, how he was saved by Mr. Sakamoto, how cool he was, and all the cool moves he was doing, and now he hasn't lost a step, even though he's got fat, more or less. Hey, it is what it is. But in the process of that, he starts talking about how he iced all the guys, which we all know that terminology and what it means. But the wife, Aoi, she is not too happy about hearing those words because she looked sternly at Sakamoto and was like, "Did you go back to taking people out again? Is that what you're doing?" And he's like, "No, not at all." And he telepathically, admits to that everything that I did was a wound, but not a mortal wound. Like everybody was injured, hurt, taken out, but he did not, take out anybody in the fact of ending them. So, with that being said, all the rules stuff is still in place because she said if at any point in time you break, the family rules, I will divorce you. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. That's how serious she looks. She's like, I will divorce you. And it's just like, dang, like, what are all the family rules? I need to know to make sure that he don't mess up. Like, that's how invested I am in Mr. Sakamoto. So that's rules, and he's like, all right, well, we gotta go travel. We gotta get some stuff for the shop, and kind of let's go. So they end up going to another district area, looks like, and while they're going, there's a vendor selling some meat buns, which Mr. Sakamoto was very excited to go to. He goes to the place, gets them, and he lets it be known to Shin that they only allow you to buy 50 meat buns per day. Like, you can't buy anymore. Like, that's the cap. Like, they must be that good if you can only buy 50 per day. So he acquires his meat buns, and as they're walking back, you got this girl, pink hair, flying out the window and landing right onto Mr. Sakamoto, and the precious meat buns are destroyed. They're squashed. And even Shin tries to pick them up. Like, maybe we can salvage them. It does. Nope, they're gone. Like, yeah, they are smashed. And we found out this young girl who goes by the name Lu Xiaotang has been chased by these thugs, out the window and down to the street. So as we see her getting ready to square off, she gets to scrap with these guys, and we notice that she's using Tai Chi as per Shin's account of what's going on. She's using this Tai Chi, and she is handling herself very well, which lets me know, okay, she's probably going to be an asset towards Mr. Sakamoto in some capacity. So what's the deal? So she ends up fighting all off until she gets caught in a full Nelson from behind, more or less, and she's about to get, taken out the blade by the leader of the thugs there. And that's when everybody comes, Shin, Sakamoto, everybody kind of comes to the rescue to protect her and make sure that she's good. After they do that, they end up basically getting all the guys off. More guys start showing up. They hightail it out of there to kind of get to safety. While they get to safety, we end up kind of getting back to who sent the people, which is this chairman, so the Dan Shokai chairman. Apparently, he wanted whatever treasure that her family holds because apparently she's part of a mafia family. And he had all of her family taken out. She's the only one left, and she was entrusted with the key to the vault. So that is why he wants her. He must get this key so he can get into the vault and get whatever treasure awaits inside this vault. He is kind of just bent on getting there. So while he's talking to his henchmen end up being like, "Yo, boss, we aren't gonna do it, but we got we're tracking them, all kind of stuff." He's like, "Get out my face, you're dismissed." And without missing a beat, like, he stands up and gone. All right. And he's gone. The fact is that there's two assassins in the room, two twin assassins. One's bald, one's got hair. So Sun He is the one who's got hair. Bacho is the one who's bald. And Bacho, who's very impulsive, it looks like, basically takes the guy's head and just like, "Yo, we're willing to do it, and as long as nobody gets in our way and we can take out whoever we want. And the chairman's like, I don't care, I just need the key. Cool. So we're getting into it. Sakamoto ends up regrouping with crew on the rooftop, and they're just kind of having a conversation. He asks her like, "Hey, can you make meat buns? Because pretty much I lost mine, and if you can make them, then we'll help you. If you can pretty much just make us some meat buns, and that'll be payment. Fair trade. Take out a bunch of bloodthirsty criminals and stuff for some meat buns. Makes sense." So as they're having this conversation, Sakamoto gets squarely kicked in the face and launched into the next building by Bacho. And again, everybody is just like back on guard. We're gonna fight. What's going on? And they thought they took him out, but Sakamoto comes back strong and takes the bald one and then basically smashes him with a heck of a punch straight into the ground, which puts them through the roof, and they land in where? A kitchen of a restaurant, which looks to be closed. And we know that this is probably a good place for Sakamoto because he is really good with store utensils, kitchen stuff. Like that's just kind of his thing. So in the process of this, basically they get to scrapping, and everybody's in there fighting. They're trying to figure out what's going to happen. We see that apparently these assassins, they like to take people's heads and draw them, sketch them, whatever, after they finish doing their missions. And one brother is very happy with the notoriety. The other brother is like, no, we're supposed to live in the shadows. It's kind of what we want. I was like, but, and of course, Shin's like, hey, none of y'all ever heard of, Mr. Sakamoto, so y'all ain't nothing. He is like Sakamoto fanboy number one, and he is making sure that they know it. Well, in the process of all this, Mr. Sakamoto keeps thinking about the buns, and actually he's like, you know what? I'd like a red bean bun too, if possible. Like these are the things that he's thinking, like adding all this stuff in. But as they're kind of scrapping, they're going back and forth. We find out the backstory on the rules. So apparently, Mr. Sakamoto's wife and had a conversation. He came back, he brought her a gift, but he had some, remain some blood on his face, right? So with that being said, the wife or the future wife at the time, I would use like, I don't want any gifts from money obtained through this activities for that. And you gotta do something different. Like if you can't stop doing this, then apparently you don't want me. And she launches herself off the roof, like straight up. Like, I'm going. And in the process of that, he has to dive off of this roof. And this, anime drops like they make it, longer than what it actually is and stuff for most things, or it just kind of goes on her. That's what it kind of seemed like. But he ends up catching her, and they kind of fall into the snow. It had to be a lot of snow or something for them to just without a freaking without a mark on them. Either way, they land in the snow, and she's like, "Make me this promise. Everything that you've done, everything that's gone so far, like do your best to help people. So if you don't take out anybody anymore, and you devote your life to helping people and all the people that to kind of make up for all the stuff that you've done, then I'll stay. But if you don't, then kind of it's over." And this is remember because Shin was asking like, "What are the rules?" And he wanted to know like, "What are the rules? Why are the rules?" And all this kind of stuff. It's funny because Sakamoto was like, "These are the rules. Follow them," and didn't give him no other information. So, um, with that being said, he agreed, and that's one of the reasons why he retired and why he's doing the stuff that he's doing because he's helping people. So that part comes full circle now. So he has that moment, but while he's going with that, we jump back to the fight because this is all in his mind. And Shin is reading this now because again, it's going on while the fight's going on, and he's in close enough proximity. Because remember, his powers work within proximity. So we get back to the fight, and we see that the twins are like they're going back and forth. Like, we're going to use our special move, Iron Pot Special Technique, Tofu Scramble. And they do some weird move because one's got a shock, the one with hair's got a shocker him, and the other one's got two swords, and they're going at it and swinging and really getting into it, and just like bam, we're gonna mess you up. And Sakamoto dodged every last swing with no issues. Every last swing was dodged, and they're like, we don't understand how, whatever, like, no, we gonna get this thing done. So they set up, we're gonna do iron pot technique, and as they're getting ready to do a different iron pot technique, like a whole different one that is no one's ever only 3 people witness, and this is it. Here they do it. I didn't know. Sakamoto comes down with an iron pot, by the way, and smashes got Bacho in the head, knocks him out cold. He's done. You're sitting there calling out your moves. He's like, yeah, no, bam, finish him off, and then they proceed to take out the other one and then finish him off with a cool impact refrigerator smash. Sakamoto took a refrigerator and smashed on this dude to take him out. So they both been taken out, freaking, they're getting tied up, and it's just like, all right, that's the end of that. What's gonna happen next? They end up going back to the family's vault, and they find that the Don Shokai chairman is at the vault, just kind of touching on it, trying to figure out how to get in, and upset. And basically, he's greeted by the crew, and they pretty much proceed to set him up. And Xiao Tang, she beats the living crap out of him, and she's not going to do anything more than that. She's not going to take him out. She basically said that her father wanted her to live in a way that made sense and stuff like that. So it's not about revenge, it's like live your life type things. So she just beat him up, got some revenge with that, and she's kind of moved past it, which is very big of her. And we end up seeing what's inside the vault, which I didn't expect we would see. So basically the vault's opened up and it's a treasure. It's a family treasure. But the way the family treasure is each head of the family. So whenever there's a new head of the family, they have to take a treasure that they hold dear and place it inside the vault. So you see gold and jewels and all that stuff, but you also see stuff like stuffed animals. You see trinkets, books. There's even a bottle of sake in there, which is what her father left for her for when she became of age, that they would drink together. Like that was what is supposed to be the best tasting sake in the world, something like that. So I love that idea that it's a family heirloom vault. So it's family treasure. So every member of the family leaves something in there to kind of keep the legacy going, and it's great to see. So they end up drinking the sake and eating some crushed meat buns. It's like the taste is still good, but they're just crushed. So they end up kind of getting through that, and they end up going back to the store, and pretty much Shin and him are back in the store. We're trying to figure out, okay, what's going to happen with Xiao Tang. And Shin's walking in with an apron. He's like, yep, I'm ready to work. And he's like, Shin's like, you got money. Like, what are you doing? Like, she's like, I'm not selling the family heirloom stuff. Yeah, there's gold and treasure in there, but I'm not selling any of that stuff. So I guess you got to make money some type of way, because I guess she's not necessarily in the family business anymore because the whole family was taken out. So they end up, getting the rules, and he hands the rule book and is like, read this carefully. This is what you got to follow. And it's got one rule in there that I see. I didn't see nothing else. One rule says, never kill. And Sakamoto thinks straight to head, is like, never kill or I'll take you out. It's like, Shin's like, that's against the rule. Like, you're breaking the rules. If I break the rules, it doesn't make any sense. But that's kind of the way is starting to leave off. And then basically you get kind of some credits as well. If you get another cutscene, and you find out that they know who Sakamoto and crew are, well, their day jobs anyway. Like, these are the people, and there is a 1 billion yen bounty put on Sakamoto and crew. So now you got the premise that everybody is now coming for Sakamoto and his crew because they're going to want that money. So fantastic episode. I think it was really good. Again, it sets everything up for the future and how they're probably going to have to go cut the head off the snake or whatever to get the bounty to stop. So whoever put it out, that's just kind of what we're waiting on, what we're going to see. I'm not sure how long the series is. I got to go look that up. But either way, I'm here for it. Netflix is doing a good job with this. They've been on point with their anime. So I'm with it. So if you're with it, make sure you hit that lovely red subscribe button. Make sure you tune in to us. We're going to try and keep these reviews going as quickly as possible. And hey, again, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments of what do you think? Freaking, does it live up to the manga? Is there some things that are different? Don't give spoilers if you can, please. But we're trying to watch this all the way through, and hopefully we get a solid resolution at the end, and maybe this will go on for more than one season. But until then, I will catch you guys in the next one. Later.